First day of May. May Day and the feast of Saint Marcoul, who cures corrupt and rotten ulcers, suppurating rashes, and other foul diseases of the skin. The loveliest day of the year. To the Maypole, haste away, for it is a holiday. Morwenna and I went out before dawn to gather hawthorn and rowan branches alive with flowers and wash our faces in the magical May morn dew, though I think it is too late to improve Morwenna's face. Gerd the miller's son and Ralph Littlemouse brought down from the hills a small birch, which we stripped of leaves and branches and decked with flowers and ribbons. We leapt and danced around it, singing in our glee to have summer come again. John Swan from the alehouse and William Stewart's red-haired daughter Molly were acclaimed king and queen of the May. John Swan also won most of the games, the wrestling and the running and the stick fighting, although Perkin climbed highest in the old oak. The village boys spent their time trying to kiss the queen and any other girl they could reach. We feasted on berries and bread and cakes and ale in the orchard, and near noon, Jack of the Green came dancing in, his face and body covered with leaves, singing about maidens and love and kissing. I tied leaves and flowers about myself and danced with Jack, and then John Swan, and then John Swan again. Molly pulled him off to dance with her, and I tried to dance off with Jack as he left the village, but Morwenna stopped me, as I hoped she would. Second day of May, feast of St. Jenny's, not the one who carried his own head. I am confounded. Shaggybeard's agents gone, these last days, have come again. Shaggybeard, it seems, is determined, and my behavior and my wishes affect him not at all. Is he the suitor more greedy than my father and more stubborn than I? Oh God, I pray not. The messenger's return changes nothing. I will not marry the pig. A wonder. I have not the powers to avoid Shaggybeard. Did I then truly have anything to do with George and Alice? Or was there no curse? Third day of May, feast of the finding of the Holy Cross. May Perkin roast in hell. I asked him this morning for a small kiss so I might know what all the fuss and poetry and song is about, but he just laughed and would not. Fourth day of May, feast of Saint Monica, who overcame a violent husband and a tendency to heavy drinking to become mother of the holy Saint Augustine. I put my shoes on the wrong feet this morning, and it brought me ill luck indeed, for the negotiations are over and I am set to marry Shaggybeard. My mother asked that I not be wed and gone until her baby is born in the autumn, so I have a morsel of time left to figure a way out of this trouble. If only I had been able to become a monk, or a crusader, or a pilgrim, or anything but a maid about to be sold like a herring. I am sulking and refused all food since dinner. Fifth day of May, feast of Saint Hydrock of Lanhydrock, a Cornish hermit. Fought with the beast my father over this joke of a marriage. I roared, he roared. I threw things, he stepped on them. I pushed him, he shouted about stubbornness and pride which should long ago have been broken, and delivered several hard blows to my face. Sixth day of May, feast of St. Marian and James, blindfolded, beheaded, and thrown into the river Rummel. Fought again with my father. God gave me this big mouth, so I think it can be no sin to use it. Even so, I plan to resume sulking instead of arguing. It is much easier on my face. Seventh day of May, feast of St. Stanislaus of Poland, killed by some king while he prayed. Still sulking, and have added deep sighs and ill temper. My father looks about to burst with anger. Good. I spent the afternoon in the far field with Perkin and the goats. He said my father manages me all wrong. Perkin said he learned about getting along with me by watching Sim with the pigs. If it is necessary to lead a pig forward, he said, Sim ties a string to his hind leg and pulls backward. The pig will then pull forward and so goes ahead. And so it is with me, Perkin says. If my father pulled me backward, I would demand to go ahead. I mislike being likened to a pig, so left Perkin in the field and him sulking in the barn, alone. Eighth day of May, feast of St. Indrict, an Irish prince who with his 9 traveling companions was set upon and murdered by brigands. More lady lessons. It is impossible to do all and be all a lady must be, and not tie oneself in a knot. A lady must walk erect with dignity, looking straight before her with eyelids low, gazing at the ground ahead, neither trotting, nor running, nor looking about, nor laughing, nor stopping to chatter. Her hands must be folded below her cloak, while at the same time lifting her dress from the floor, while at the same time hiding her mouth if her smile is unattractive or her teeth yellow. A lady must have 6 hands. She must not look too proud, nor yet too humble, lest people say she is proud of her humility. She must not talk overmuch, yet not be silent, lest people think she does not know how to converse. She must not show anger, nor sulk, nor scold, nor overeat, nor overdrink, nor swear. God's thumbs, I'm going out to the barn to jump, fart, and pick my teeth. Ninth day of May, feast of St. Beatus of Vendome, who lived and died in a cave where he fought and slew a dragon. More arguing with my father and more bruises. As Morwenna bathed my face in rosemary water, she said, "Child, a dog is wiser than you. He does not bark at his own master." Perkin likens me to a pig, Morwenna to a dog. I wish I were one or the other. 10th day of May, feast of St. Conleth, who was devoured by wolves. My mother still troubled by headache. I made her a tonic of chamomile, being out of goat dung until Perkin brings the goats home. No relief. 11th day of May, feast of St. Creedon, who killed his father and in remorse became a hog herd and a saint. I wonder how he did it. 14th day of May, feast of St. Boniface, who led a dissipated life but was kind to the poor and died while protecting Christians. My mother being ill these past days, I have had no time for writing, or, in truth, anything to write. 15th day of May, feast of St. Dympna, protector of lunatics. We sent for the Spanish physician who is visiting the abbey to see to my mother's headaches, for Morwenna and I can do no more. He is a little man in a black cape and a flat black hat that looks very like a big burned pancake. He advised her to avoid bad smells, keep her head cool, and not to cry, sing high, or shout hello. I advised her to get rid of the Spanish physician. 17th day of May, feast of St. Madrone of Cornwall, whose magic well one can still visit. My mother does better. I am still promised a shaggy beard. It is raining. Life goes on. 18th day of May, feast of St. Algifu, Queen of Wessex, mother of Kings Edwy and Edgard. I think Algifu a more suiting name for me than Catherine or Bertie. I asked Morwenna henceforth to call me Algifu, but she merely snorted. 19th day of May, feast of St. Dunstan, who pitched the devil's nose with tongs. Still raining. I sat in the hall with Odd William, who also refuses to call me Algifu, but did read to me from his history of the world. He has just finished writing of the Trojan War and of Aeneas, who fled to Italy from the ruins of Troy, and his grandson Brutus, who was expelled from Italy for shooting his father with an arrow, thinking him an animal, although it seems to me a reasonable mistake. After many adventures, this Brutus came to the island of Albion, inhabited only by giants, and he and his followers built homes and settled down to stay, changing the name of the island to Britain, after Brutus. I asked Odd William why in that case it was not Bruton. He humphed and stopped reading, and I had to leave the comfort of the hall and find a place to hide from Morwenna and her everlasting weaving. 20th day of May, feast of St. Ethelbert, King of East Anglia, a relative, no doubt, of my Aunt Ethelfritha. Still raining. No one will agree to call me Agelfu except Gerd the miller's son, who cannot pronounce the name and says Uglyfu. 21st day of May, feast of St. Colin, a Welshman who fought a duel with a Saracen before the Pope, went home to Wales, and delivered the people in the Vale of Llangollen from a lady giant by slaying her. I asked Odd William about this story of St. Colin, for it seems the sort of thing he would know. William says it is but a fable, that St. Colin did indeed fight a Saracen and a lady giant, but the Pope was never involved. How pleasant it has been to lie by the fire and hear stories, and think about Greeks and giants and popes. Mayhap I could be William's apprentice. 22nd day of May, feast of St. Helen of Caravan, builder of Welsh roads. In order to put an end to my idleness, which Morwenna says is the great pathway that leads to all evils, I have been made to hem sheets for my marriage bed. By cock and pie, would that I had threads spud from Denley, henbane, or spurge. This sewing of sheets make a marriage seem more real. What am I to do? Am I doomed? 25th day of May, feast of St. Zenobius of Florence, who raised from the dead 5 people, including a child run over by an ale cart in front of the cathedral. Grown full restless with the rain, I thought to sing some of my songs to Odd William. He is, after all, a great scholar, and could give me an opinion of them. I had just begun my Lenten song when he commenced talking of his own work and the difficulty of obtaining enough paper, and how he is contemplating next a life of Merlin the magician in rhymed couplets. He did not see me or hear me at all. Finally, I wandered off to throw gooseberries into the fire. They popped and hissed, made as much sense as Odd William. He will have to find another apprentice. 28th day of May, feast of St. Bernard of Aosta, who uses dogs to help lost travelers on the Alpine passes. Walter Gray, the steward of Crossbridge Manor, stopped here today to drink our ale and to boast of a miracle in Crossbridge village. One of the villagers, he says, an unlettered man with no language but English, woke up one morning suddenly able to speak fluent Hebrew. We once had a 2-headed calf, which I think much superior to Hebrew-speaking villagers, but it didn't live very long. 29th day of May, feast of St. Alexander, martyred in Milan. The news of the Hebrew-speaking villager has greatly excited Odd William. This, if true, he says, supports his growing suspicion that Brutus and the early Britons were not Trojans but members of one of the lost tribes of Israel, driven from their homeland by the Assyrians. A villager who miraculously remembers Hebrew from the Britons long ago past would confirm his theory. William plans to ride to Crossbridge to see for himself. He has visions of glory and renown, with famed scholars coming from all over the world to consult him. Probably they will all want to sleep in my chamber. 30th day of May. Feast of St. Hubert, who became a Christian when he saw the image of the crucified Christ between the antlers of a stag. There was a wondrous strange spectacle in our yard this dawn. Odd William tied his writing table, parchments, and pens onto the back of the miller's mule, and set out for Crossbridge and fame. His eyes, so well suited for close work like writing, fail at distances, so that William rides leaning greatly forward on the mule's neck, alternately squinting and peering far ahead, while rubbing that spot between his eyes where all this squinting and peering hurts him. Our villagers lined the road and called out to him as he passed, thinking him some sort of saint or holy man, for his part in the Crossbridge miracle. Dogs, 2 goats, a goose, and several village children ran behind him, spattered with the drops of ink made as it spilled its way to Crossbridge. I should like to paint a picture of this on my chamber wall, but I fear I would never then sleep for laughing. 31st day of May. Feast of St. Petronilla, who refused to marry a pagan count and starved herself to death. The rain has stopped and the world shines. Everything seems more hopeful in the sun. It will soon be summer, and I am not Lady Shaggybeard yet. I will find a way out.